You're single, sis, because you keep letting these sell you a pipe dream. Let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? It's B Ferg, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about love, relationship, God, and all of the things. I'm your friend, your homegirl, your internet bestie. Today I want to talk about why you're single. Let's do it. Now, y'all know I like to start off with an example. I was dating this one dude who, month 2, he was like, girl, I'm gonna marry you. And I said, okay. This was also because I was celibate. I think that played a big role in that. So anyway, we're dating 4 months, 5 months, and now we're looking at houses. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? He gonna marry me, so now we should start looking at houses. But I didn't have a ring on my finger at all. And I mean, we deep in looking for houses. And so I would say about the 5th house in, I went in there and I said, okay, the dreaming is over. I said, we're doing a lot of house shopping. Are you planning on marrying me anytime soon? And he said, I mean, eventually down the line, I'll marry you. I said, and when do we want to purchase this house together? He was like, soon. And so I started thinking. I said, this man don't want to marry me. This man is trying to buy time. This man is selling me a pipe dream. And because I'm so giddy and because I want to be married, I'm letting him do it. So I said to him, I said, well, I don't want to buy a house with someone that's not my husband. That doesn't make sense to me. And let me tell you what he did. He began to send me pictures of rings from the store. He never took me to the store, but he started sending me pictures of rings from the store. Now, any other girl, maybe in my younger years, I would have been like, oh yeah, this man about to marry me. But nothing else happened. Just pictures. Now, you're actively taking me to go find houses, but we ain't actively going to nan ring store. So what do you think he was thinking at the moment? I think he was thinking, well, let me lock her in with the house, because that's a big thing. And then one day, maybe I'll marry her, but it'll be too late then. And let me tell you how funny God is. One night, he was so drunk. Plug in right there. Girl, you know you're a woman of God. What you doing with a drunk? Anyway, he was so drunk and sleepy. I started asking him questions because he was talking out his brain, like, out of his mind. And I was asking him regular questions first, like, do you love me? And he was like, yeah. I was like, you want to buy a house with me? He was like, yeah. And I was like, are you planning on marrying me? And he got quiet, y'all. So I went and I asked him another question, and he answered it. And then I went back to the will you marry me question, and he got quiet. Now, any other person would be like, oh, he's just, and oh, he's just. No, baby, he was speaking his mind. And then, and in that moment, I said, this man ain't gonna marry me. He's just pulling me along, right? He's stringing me along with the bells and the whistles and the what ifs and the ooh, and this is what I'm gonna do. But the only thing you were actually doing was just trying to put me in a house. So at that point, because if you watch my previous video, you know that I told you that I have to have a gut punch in my stomach for me to really get it. I just put that in the back of my brain and I said, let me watch his actions. Now, in this relationship, I'm celibate, and we'll talk about what made me celibate in another video. And we haven't done anything. So now, 6 months in, and we go on a little trip, and Holy Spirit say, look at his phone, because now he's dead drunk, asleep again. Woman of God, what you doing with a man that's dead drunk? You see all the flags here? And I went through his phone like a little ninja. If you gotta be rolling over in the middle of the night, come here, come closer. If you gotta be rolling over in the middle of the night to check his phone, why you with him? I mean, full-blown Jackie Chan, okay? And what I saw in that phone was the gut punch that I needed. But how many times do we have to get gut punched before we remove ourselves from situations? I stayed in it for 2 more months. Now, was I completely in it? No, because I started backing away. Like, okay, so everything is being revealed. Then I found some more stuff in his phone, like a thief in the night. Because why? He was drunk sleep every night. Then I started seeing other things, like he was having a hard time at work. And I'm like, fight for this. You got to fight for that. Like, you deserve it. You're the top seller. You're doing great things for the company. You fight for that. And he wouldn't fight for it. And you know what dawned on me? If he don't fight for himself, how you think he gonna fight for this relationship? Bling! Another one back in the back of my shanana. I started asking questions to myself. Do you want this as a longevity type of thing? Do you want to be a wife to a man that drinks himself to sleep every night? Is that fair to you? Do you want somebody who is actively cheating on you with somebody he said cheated on him? So he don't even know his worth. How is he going to know the worth you bring to the table? I started asking myself questions now. And you want to know what my answer was? I'll tell you. I love you with all of my heart, but I love me more. And this is not working. And it broke him to his core because, you know, sometimes people feel like when you love them hard, you'll never leave. But that don't work around here. I can love you, but if I gotta go, I gotta go. And that's what I did. I left. And he chased me. I mean, I left the city completely. And he chased me. And I let him catch me once. And when he came, I said a prayer. I said, Lord, if this isn't what it's supposed to be, show me. And he came and we were going back to his hotel. And on the way to the hotel, I said, you have to slow down on the street because they have a lot of potholes. He wasn't listening. Come on, Shanana. Do you want to be married to somebody that don't even listen to you? That doesn't even take your advice as a woman, as the woman of the house? Do you want somebody? Do you want to marry somebody like that? And I kept saying, slow down. He wouldn't listen. So we ended up with a flat tire, 2 flat tires, actually. So we had to pull into the gas station because you don't want to listen. Not everybody has to suffer. Hint, hint. Y'all getting what I'm dropping down. And then he goes into the gas station. He leaves the car on and his phone rings. He answers, but he doesn't realize that the Bluetooth is connected to the phone. Ring. Hey, babe, what you doing? That came in the car. Yes, I said, thank you, Father. All you got to do is pray the prayer, sis. Lord, if he ain't meant to be, if it's anything in this relationship that needs to be exposed, expose it and be ready. Because typically when you pray that prayer, you already got something in your shana. But God then reveals. Now, it's up to you what you're going to do with that revelation. So he realized that he couldn't hear the person on the phone. And when he got in the car, I didn't. First of all, you don't even listen to me. I've dated somebody in the past that never listened to my advice. So that's off rip, a cutoff. And he was like, you good? I said, oh, I'm great. We go to his hotel room. Let me tell you another thing. One of my pastors from our old city was coming out of that hotel with his wife and family. Talk about shame. What were you, even if your witness was going in there to be innocent, because I was still celibate, so he wasn't getting anything. As a matter of fact, this was a farewell trip. But to be seen by a pastor walking into a hotel that he knows that I'm not married was another gut punch. You understand? We go upstairs. I talked to his brother on the phone. I was like, yeah, I was telling him to slow down. He didn't want to listen. He was like, you know how he is. Yeah, I do. Which is the reason why he's an ex for a reason. So I said that to say, stop letting these men sell you pipe dreams. Don't let them play with your emotions. I don't want you to want love so bad that you just accept anything. That's not the God that we serve. We don't serve a God that just gives you anything. He wants the best for you, more than you can even fathom. Why would you let somebody sell you a pipe dream and treat you like second best? No. The answer is no. No longer will we sit in a relationship where all they're doing is just talking and there's no action behind it. You have to pay attention to the action, sister. They tell you everything. And you cannot, like I always say in every video, you cannot be afraid of being alone. if you're trusting God, how can he bless you with a man if you have somebody in the placeholder? How? You know he don't bless like that. You know it has to be ordered before you can even get it. So I always use this motto: Lord, if he's not for me, I need you to remove him quickly, because I don't want to miss the line. I don't want to miss the line of who you have for me, because I'm holding on to what you don't have for me. You understand? And as soon as you start having feelings for these little Negroes, what I want you to do is pray the prayer immediately, because we don't have time. Okay? Now God can restore. I am a true example of that. But we don't have time to wait. So as soon as you start feeling a little, pray the prayer. And wait for God to answer you. And stop letting them sell you pipe dreams without actions. Now, that's all I got for you today. But I want you to know that I love you. And I want so much for you to have that joy and that peace and that security and that love for the man that God has for you. Okay? I really want you to experience it, because there's nothing like it. But you got to get rid of the toxicity, and you got to change your mind and your way of thinking, because you deserve so much more. All right, now, until next time, don't be mad at me, because I love you. Bye.